Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain, and after he had sat down, his disciples came to him. He began to teach them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the land. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the clean of heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are they who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you and utter every kind of evil against you falsely because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord. From the second reading of today, 1 John chapter 3, verse number 1, we read, "See, beloved, see what love the Father has bestowed on us, that we may be called the children of God." And down the passage it says, what we are today and what we hope to be is that we will see him and we shall be like him, for we see him face to face. Amazing. That's what we are celebrating today. Humanity beholding the face of God. Man, woman in the presence of God. Today we honor the memory of those countless unknown and uncanonized saints. They were not officially proclaimed saints by the church. Sainthood is open to all, everyone, all baptized, and perhaps all men and women of goodwill who did the will of God on earth. Of course, they have died and are now with God in glory. If you are with God, definitely you see God face to face, as the second reading said, 1 John chapter 3. We thank God for giving everyone, men and women, a share in his holiness and in his heavenly glory as a reward for their faith. We take opportunity too to thank God for our family members, to thank God for that your mom or grandmom or dad or granddad who you are sure was a good person, did well, tried his or her best to do the will of God, raised you up in the right way, showed you the way to God. That's what we're celebrating today. You know, sometimes we forget that. We forget that that our grandparents, our moms, our daddies, and our siblings, our cousins, that were good, that loved God and loved man, tried their best to do the right thing, they could be among those who are celebrating today. Think about that. I remember my mom and my dad. They have passed in glory. Today, I remember them, and I thank God for their good life. Remember, we are very conscious of November the 2nd to go to the graveside to pray for the faithful departed. But today, we should as well celebrate with them, those who are triumphant and victorious, and then pray, ask them to help us too. The church allows that. That's what we're celebrating today, to tell us that people are going to heaven. Our family members are going to heaven. Human beings are going to heaven. People of everywhere, from every part of the world, are going to heaven. And so someone may ask you, what does a saint look like? Who is a saint? Who is a saint? I know it's a difficult question to answer, huh? But let me answer it this way. They were human beings. They were men, women, teenagers, school children, young people, adults, who have lived their life very well. Some have lived long lives, maybe up to 80, 90, 100 plus. Of course, you know that St. John, the evangelist, lived many years. He lived up to 100. Some, very short life. Maybe they died in their prime, at their prime of life, and people were crying. But they know the type of life they lived. Some were priests. Some were nuns. Some were in the monastery. Others had families. Some were single, they never married. Some were widows or widowers. These people are those who are going to heaven. Some of them were highly educated. Maybe they were professors in the university. They had many degrees to their name. Maybe some of them were wonderful homilists, like Archbishop Futun Shin. Yes. However, some were illiterates. They didn't go to school. They were hardworking. They tried their best. They lived their life. Never went to school, or they dropped out of school. Yes. They never wrote any book. They can't even stand in public to talk to anyone. Yes, yet they may be in heaven. Some were people we don't even know, but we hear about them. Or people that we know through someone or someone else. But despite their differences, all the saints had one thing in common. They all had one thing in common. One, they believed in God. They believed that they belonged to God. And they lived their life fearing God. They lived their life knowing that God is their Father. And God will be angry if they do not behave well. They cared about God. They remembered God all the days of their life. They don't want to offend God. They were careful to be good. Again, number two, some, like the first reading said, they have washed themselves in the blood of the Lamb. They are now crystal white. They have cleansed themselves. They went to confessions. They used the sacraments of the church to purify themselves. They made mistakes, yes. They committed sins, yes. But they tried. They worked hard to cleanse themselves and stay clean. They were washed in the blood of the Lamb. That's what is common to all the saints. Believing God and washing themselves in the blood of the Lamb. People of God. So today, we are reminded by the church that God's call for holiness is universal and still open to everyone. We are called to live in his love, and we are called to follow Jesus Christ and to let him purify us, cleanse us by obeying him and obeying his words. Therefore, we are expected to make the love of God real in the world. If we are God's children, let us live according to that. If we hope to live with God in the forever, let us begin now to live with God. May the saints of God continue to pray for us.
Regina Celi, letare, alleluia, qui aquae meruisti portare, alleluia, resurrexit sicut dixit, alleluia, ora pro nobis Deum, alleluia.